Hey, this is Texas Rider here. This is the first show. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I have two of my buddies here, Dwayne Hale with Mothership Products and Mike Ticelli with Biker's Basement. He's my father-in-law. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll go from there. Hey, Hale, David. What was that?
Probably my wife coughing
Oh, okay.
upstairs.
So we're just gonna kind of hang out and just talk about bikes and go from there. And so Mothership Products, I met him through reselling. He was doing Mothership Products auctions and on Saturdays, and kind of just became friends. We talking about motorcycles and kind of hang out. My father-in-law, Mike Ticelli, he we've been around talking and all that, and he's kind of disabled. I'll let him talk about that a little bit later. And he's always been in the bikes, and he has some really great stories, and go from there. So, Dwayne, tell me a little bit about you, and we'll go from there.
All right. Hey, I'm Dwayne Hale. Live in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Right now, I have a 99 Intruder, 800 Intruder. So that's what I'm riding right now. I bought it for a really good price. I think I bought it for $300, and I rode it home. So I mean, you can, any bike you can buy for $300 and ride home. That's a good bike.
It started, huh? Wow, that's good.
Oh yeah. It started. I rode it home on the freeway. The seat's torn up. I got to work on the seat and stuff like that. I mean, it needs a little work, but for $300, I couldn't go wrong there. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's a work in progress, but isn't every bike? I mean, unless you buy something brand new. I mean, and even then, if you buy something brand new, you're always doing something to it, putting on a different exhaust, putting on new lighting, whatever, pinstripes, whatever you want to do to them. So
yeah, because there's so many different parts you can add to it, so you can basically customize it yourself.
Yeah. Well, and it's a lot easier than a car because I mean, first of all, it's smaller. You can get to everything. I mean, it's not like you have to crawl under the hood. It's all
I know, right?
You just take the tank off, and geez, you can get to anything pretty much.
Take the tank and the seat off, and you're basically right there.
Right there. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. With Mothership Products too, is he does auctions on storage auctions, so he does come across a lot of stuff. And if anybody's interested, you could probably message him through Facebook. It might have some kind of part that you need. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I did actually find something Harley related. Let me go grab it.
Yeah. Oh, show the sign that you have, and then that little.
Oh yeah, I'll show that other
tachometer that you have. Yeah.
I can't show the cluster because I already packaged it up. But I'll
go get
the piece. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's right, man. Don't you be showing people my stuff.
Hey, Mike, tell them a little bit about you and how you got started.
Well, first of all, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and let everybody see what I look like. I'll give them a headshot. There we go. So if anybody's wondering why is this old guy that looks like Santa Claus, tattooed Santa Claus, laying in a bed? Well, first of all, I'll let you guys know I'm James's son and father-in-law. And before I say anything, I want to know. I'm looking up here at So Get This. I know that's my daughter, your wife. How come she's not a mod?
She is now. I made her a mod.
She ain't blue.
Well, she hadn't said anything. She's too busy talking to her friends.
Oh, I'm bad. All right, my bad. So anyway, my name's Mike, and the reason I'm in bed is I got
because he's lazy. That's why he's in bed. He's lazy.
Oh, that. Well, why
that too?
Why sit up when you can lay down, right? Why get dressed when you can do it naked? So why not? No, I have what they call PPMS. That's primary progressive multiple sclerosis. So it's a rougher version of MS, and I got struck with it back in 2006. I had at the time a 2001 Indian that I had bought, which we all know was motorcycle company was taken over by California Cycle or something like that. I think it was California Cycles. and so they took over, and I bought an Indian. I did have an Electra Glide at the time, an '85, and I ended up getting rid of that, and I got the Indian. And then 2006, I got struck down with this MS stuff. Ended up having to sell the bike, so I sold it to my brother, my younger brother, and he's got it. And he said, anytime I get my legs back and I can stand up and walk, if I want to ride, I can go ahead and buy my bike back.
Nice.
So that's cool. I can always get my Indian back.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of that. That looks pretty slick.
It was that was. I'll tell you what, man. A lot of people. Well, anyway, let me just continue on before I talk about the bike. And then you see the name Spiker's Basement. That's the website that I own is spikersbasement.com. It's a classified site, and it's free to list there. Motorcycle. It's all motorcycle related. Don't matter whether you got a Harley, an Indian, a Triumph, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha. It don't matter on any of the bikes. If you got a bike you want to sell, you got takeoff parts, because like during the wintertime, usually when you do your rebuild. So like, say you change your carb and you got your old carb's still good, but you don't need it. You can put it up over there and list it. You get 90-day listing for free. There's no listing fee, no final value fee, no nothing.
Is it kind of like a Craigslist or
no,
Facebook kind of?
Actually, it's just a classified website, man.
Okay.
You put up an ad. You put up. You get 4 pictures, and and you put it up. You can go ahead and give them your PayPal address right there, or put in a PayPal button if you want, and let them, pay if you have no restrictions to go overseas, like international or whatever. Me personally, I like to invoice the person, and then I like to do mostly local pickup, but I will ship. So, but not knowing where it's going, because some countries got a little more restrictions than others. But yeah, it's real simple. You get an account, it's real easy over there. Load up 4 pictures, type your stuff away, and it goes up there. And the way we make money there is through banner ads. That's how we make money to keep the site going.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to set up a feature. My partner and I are going to try to set up a feature where it's for dealerships, like the big dealers, but we're going to charge them. But the mom and pop stores, the mom and pop shops, that kind of stuff, we're not going to charge them nothing. We're big supporters for the mom and pop. James knows. Long time ago, when I got into the reselling, when I stopped working for the Dodge dealership, the business I did was all for mom and pop. So that's basically my story. I'm just a crippled asshole man that rode some really crazy stuff throughout the years, and fortunate enough to have my son-in-law invite me to come live with them and let my daughter be my caregiver. And what more can you ask for, man?
Them out right now, and they're thinking, God, man, what a pain he is.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it.
I am a pain, man.
He wants this. He wants that. I mean, man, I'm going for a ride, man. I'll see you later.
Right?
At least I can get out of the house, See ya.
Cool. That's cool, man. I mean, it doesn't bother me any.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to say hi to Softail Style #1 Harley Davidson and Trash or Treasures. Welcome to the show. We're just hanging out right now on Saturday, 10 p.m. So not much more to do, and we're thinking about making this a regular show. So,
all right, Mike, I got something I got out of the storage unit that I can tell you.
I already paid the invoice. Don't show me.
Oh,
is this some more?
Throw it in, but I couldn't get it in the box. So.
Oh man, look at that.
Is that porcelain?
No, it's
that's metal.
It's stick metal.
It's metal, but it's painted, huh? No decals.
I don't know. Hard to tell. It's pretty dirty, so I just got it out of storage unit. Yeah,
nice.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, but I don't understand the no cages allowed. That one I didn't get.
Come on, you know what a cage is. You know what a cage. That's okay. Maybe Utah they don't talk like that.
But it is it is let's see here. It is a Harley Davidson piece, so it's
it is an official Harley?
Oh, it's official. Yeah. I think you should get that, Mike.
No, you already got me for $74 for that stinking. What was it? What was the tool?
That would look good.
Throw it in the box, but it's a little too big for the box.
That would look good in your room.
What was the tool? Nah, hey, but if anybody here, can I say that? If anybody here is interested in anything he's showing, right? They can say, hey, I want it, and can we put his? Sure. You got a contact email or something, man, that they can put in chat. So they want to get a hold of you. If somebody's comes back and sees that sign and says, "Hey, man, I want that sign."
Sure. Basically, it's just my name, mothershippproducts@gmail.com. So, yeah, anybody interested in anything that I'm showing that I haven't already sold to Mike or James here. In fact, if you make me a better offer, I might even pull it out of the box and sell it to you right out from my
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Nice.
that's cool. That's cool, man. I appreciate that.
That'd be cool.
You're
Hey,
a
maybe
friend.
this could be a Harley Davidson or motorcycle auction show on Saturdays.
Big one here.
That's great. You would do that. You do that to your best friend.
Oh yeah, you got to check this out. This is this is sick.
Wait. That's mine. Nobody gets that sun gun until you
Highest
figure out
offer.
how much to ship. No. We didn't even
Biggest offer.
we didn't
you got
even
it.
talk price yet.
Ooh.
This one's a heavy piece. I have to figure out how to ship it to them. Like I think we've decided it's the back of a park
A
bench.
bit. Yeah, I'd be interested in knowing what the bottom. I bet the bottom looked about the same.
Yeah, it probably didn't have the wood, the ironwork though. It probably was just wood painted orange or something. Maybe painted black. I don't know.
Does it have an official Harley Davidson sticker on it, or is it just something
It
that
says
somebody made? Oh my goodness! Look at
Make
this.
a fat man work.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh wow, that's cool. There you go.
That's official HD.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Wow.
Now I got a damn slipper. So
If whoever's in the chat again, he's Mothership Products. He does auctions on the side. He goes to storage auctions. In case you haven't seen the first part of the video, he picks up all kinds of stuff, motorcycle related, anything. So if you see something in this chat and make him offer, it doesn't hurt.
yeah,
Unless Mike picks it up first, So
I'm gonna try, but Angie yelled at me today. I tried. I went over to watch. I went over to watch Steals and Deals auctions, and I got in there just at the end. Derek was there. NASCAR man was in there selling today, and at the last two items they showed, it was a DSL or a DSI lot with screen protectors and what do they call it, like the pins, to
stylus
on the stylus, and then it had a 3DS travel case, DS headphones, all brand new in the box, and then a Wii controller charger, remote charger for the controllers.
Wow.
I mean there was about $120, $130 worth of stuff there retail.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I let Dennis, my nemesis, have it.
And it's due.
Yeah, that guy always whips my ass, man. Every time I go over there. Usually it's a lady.
That Softail said had a really good idea there. That would make a nice tailgate for an old pickup.
Oh, that would be sick.
Definitely.
Or something.
Most
Mount that on the
definitely.
tailgate. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
You'd have to set it up so nobody'd steal the damn thing, though.
Well, yeah.
Right.
I mean, all the craziness going on in the world today, everybody be stealing stuff.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
but-
I see some really cool names in here. Trash or Treasures. Softail Style #1 Harley Davidson. I dig that name. That's cool. That's all we got in. And then so get this.
Yep.
Yeah. Just I mean, your first shout out. I mean,
This is the first show, so I mean, let's see how it goes. So it's kind of like a hangout, Can change my background. Nice my little piano back there.
I've been here 2 years, man. When did you get the piano?
Oh, that's in my other room. You haven't seen that,
Is
So-
that the media room?
Yeah, that's the media room right
The
there.
media room?
TOT, huh? Trash or treasure? Top.
So I met her through another chat on YouTube. So that's one of the ones I go and check out all the time. She helps
Right
me
on.
out. She's gets me subscribers, and we just have a little fun. So
Oh, cool.
Right on.
Awesome.
and then I met Softail also in one of the other chats. I'm not sure if it was Trash or Treasure or not. So
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't met any of these people except these two doofuses here. Oh, and
I think Trash or Treasures does lottery tickets. I think so. She scratches them live.
I dig
and stuff.
watching them. I dig watching them. So I'm gonna have to go over there and
okay.
check them out. I like watching people scratch off them scratchers, man. I'm waiting to see the big win.
Hey, Utah doesn't have any scratchers, dude. We don't have the lottery.
You guys don't have
Aw.
much of anything, too, right? You can't buy
No.
booze on Sundays and stuff like that, or
Utah's pretty conservative.
Pretty Mormon.
Well, yeah, that's the prevailing religion for sure. So, and it's a conservative religion. So,
Yeah.
Donny Osmond land.
Yep, absolutely. In fact, Donny Osmond lives just about one town down from me. It's where they grew up. Not
Wow.
you, doofus. These two doofuses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
gonna
on the screen.
I'm gonna have to get around more and check out some of these other channels because, like lately, well, I used to James, I used to be I was in the reseller community because my gig on YouTube was to show people that were disabled or stuck in bed how to make a buck or two, and then I slowly drifted and found the guys that do the restoration stuff and
Oh,
been
cool.
watching. They've been watching
the.
that kind of stuff and some of the some other channels. You should broaden your horizons. But I need to go over and check out the lottery one, and then what's this other channel? Who is it? Softail was saying. What's
Yes.
the Slab Community Rider? What's that?
What?
Is that another channel?
I'm not sure.
Any of you guys in here ever watch a guy called Shade Tree Surgeon? He lives in
Yep.
Florida.
I sure do. You should
That
check
dude's
him
cool,
out.
man. He's funny.
He was a bartender at night, but of course, they have closed down the restaurants, only drive-thrus, and then of course closed all the bars down. So now he's trying to do full-time YouTube. So he's a bartender at night and YouTube, guy at night in the morning time or daytime, when he wakes up. So Kathleen Brandt's here.
Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
The channel, the thing I liked about his channel was the when he built that hardtail chopper out of that Yamaha 600, 650, Yamaha 650 twin.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And then he rode it 1,000 miles. It's like, man, dude.
I thought that thing was gonna break down. It's crazy. I watched that video.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, Kathleen's here. What's up?
Where are you from, Todd? What part of the country? Yeah, got some people in. Got 8 people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Man, that's cool for the first time. Not bad.
Exactly. Without having a whole lot of people in.
I put it on my community tab on Friday, so right after we got done messing around with StreamYard, so
yeah,
not too bad.
Where's Softail Harley Davidson from?
Oh, she's from Trash Treasures from Indiana.
Okay, cool. That's cool. My sister-in-law used to live in Indiana. She lived down by Bloomington, something like that. So it's southwest of Indianapolis. So
yeah,
but they just moved back here not too long ago. So awesome. So what do you have plans for your bike? What you were saying you put on some lights today? Why don't you tell everybody about that?
Okay, so I put on. Actually, Mike I think he's putting an order in for the LED lights. It took me about 2 hours to do, but there's gonna be a video on that. How to take the tank off because it's from 14 all the way to 2020. It's basically the same, but there's some steps you have to take the tank off, take your seat off. Basic electric, plus negative, all that. It has a remote control. But I did accent lighting underneath the tank to show up on the motor, and then some underneath the saddlebags. So
right.
I just I have about 4 or 5 videos I still got to edit. So
it's
taking a lot of the time.
I mean, those DIYs is what's going to bring the people in.
I think so. I mean,
that's what everybody, anytime I have to do anything, it's like, oh, if I don't know, I'm just going to go type it in YouTube and find it.
Well, I don't, because my bike is fairly new. I didn't want to scratch the paint. I didn't want to take anything off wrong. So I found JP Cycles had the removable tank. So there we go,
Exactly right.
So I want to share my experience on it. And it was pretty easy. After all said and done, it was probably, most of the time taking off just the tank and the seat, really.
Yeah.
So it took about 2 hours. Not too bad.
Yeah, but it's a labor of love, I mean, that kind of stuff. It's not like you got to get it done before you go to work because it's not your commuter.
Yeah.
It's something you can fiddle with and make it perfect and do it just exactly how you want to.
Oh man, I'm such an old fart.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I did, man? I can't believe I did this. See, this is what happens when you don't get enough junk food during the day.
And you
your
start to
brain
fall
don't-
asleep.
Your brain don't work, and you're kind of like somewhere else. I forgot to sign into my YouTube account as Biker's Basement. I was still rolling picker. So TOT, I'm going back over there to show you some love as Biker's Basement. I'm sorry about that. I thought I was showing it as Biker's Basement, but I appreciate you. Appreciate the love coming back to rolling picker. So man, what a dumbass I was. Can you believe I did that?
Damn, man, can't take you anywhere.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't.
that's fair.
Well, you can, but you guys don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're heavy. I mean, come on, jeez.
Yeah.
Hey man, you ought to see me in that power chair that we finally got. Well, we got fixed for the church gave us.
Oh yeah.
You know that thing, the PDF owner's manual. I think it says it will go like 5 miles an hour, right?
That thing
But I'm telling you
hauls.
what,
Man,
that
it
thing
hauls.
goes way faster than 5 miles an hour.
Well, I got to tell you, Mike, I kind of tweaked it a little bit, so you kind of
you
pop a
tweaked it?
wheelie.
You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Well, good. Thank God it's got front casters and rear casters because the first time he got me in it, he said, "Oh, here, you push those buttons up here, and you see where you see the rabbit." And I got, yeah, okay, it goes fast, right? Then it's got the turtle for the slow.
Right.
So I'm hitting
Yeah.
the button to make my little lights go up for like 5. I want to see. Well, first I started out at 1 speed and it barely moves, right? Because I'm a fat ass. So then I hit 2,
I'm a fat ass.
and it starts moving. And then I got to 3, and I felt pretty confident, right? So I went straight to 5 and decided I was going to do a donut. And good thing it's got a freaking safety belt. Because
Yeah.
I would have got slung right out of that chair,
Man.
and then nobody had to call EMS to come pick me up.
Yeah, I
I'm
tweaked it
telling
just a tad. Just a tad.
But you see, he didn't tell me until after I got my ass in it, right?
Yeah.
He wait because he had told me, he said, because I had to go buy a set of wheels, I had to go buy some wheels for it. Because he goes, oh man, I was test driving it and I curb
Oh, this
jumped,
is funny.
and I curb jumped and it scared me and I made a turn like and it peeled the tire off the rim.
Yeah, I just ripped the tire off, man. I was trying to take the turn too fast on the curve, you know.
Well, I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't even got my ass in the damn thing yet, and already I got to buy tires. But you know, they don't make the model no more, so you got to go to eBay, and you're pretty much bound by whatever they're charging you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
There's plenty of motors. You can get motors all day long for each wheel. You can get the motors; they're all day long. They got them. But boy, you look for a controller or the battery charger, you got to buy that shit like right when you see it because. And I was lucky to get the 4 tires.
I want to know when you're gonna build yourself a trike or something.
Actually,
Man,
we were talking about that shit.
we were talking about
I
that.
mean, well, you got nothing better to do. Get out there.
Because well, I want one like what I saw Orange County Choppers do a long time ago on
Mhm.
TV. They built one for a guy that was in a wheelchair, he was paralyzed, from the waist down, and they built it so that he could roll up into a caged or a metalled area on a ramp,
Mhm.
and then he could work. Everything was hand control,
Right.
and he could shift, start, But I have problems with my hands because of the MS. They're always in a fist. So we'd have to figure it out. But that's what I'd want to do. James wants to get
I was going to attach it to my new bike, get a sidecar, just roll them in and take them on a ride,
Get him in a sidecar. That'd be awesome.
What if we
put some of those pilot glasses on, a real big ones, and a helmet? Shoot, man. He'd be ready to go.
Why
He would love it.
Why can't you just put a put in bigger motors in my chair and then put turn signals and a horn?
Yeah, there we go.
It's got a horn.
Hey, we can modify it.
I go on the free. I don't know, man. Some of these roads around here, I don't know what they do with their money. I mean, I'm not talking politics, but I don't know what they do about maintenance in town. But when we go for a ride in a van, man, I'm always like,
yeah,
it's like
I don't think it's a motor problem. I think it's more of a suspension problem.
No, I'm just saying it's
one of those speed bumps, and that just tear you up.
I'm thinking it must be rough even on a bike, man, because we bottomed the van out one time.
Yeah, he did right when we were coming out of our street.
Like going
it's just like boom, and he's like caught some area. His body almost flew back, Like, what the heck? I was like, just imagine trying to ride on a bike on that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they have some speed bumps around here, and luckily they have a sign that tells you that they're there because they're pretty hard to see, honestly.
Oh,
And
is it?
yeah, on my bike, it'll bottom out the back shock. So if I go over too fast.
So what about your bike, man? How you just get that rear carb problem figured out, or
I haven't, like I said, I've been working on this storage unit that I bought yesterday, and cleaning up my garage a bit. I found the parts the other day, the carb kits, and I'm putting in new coils, new plugs, basic tune up because I've only owned this bike for since July of last year, so 6 months, 7 months, something like
yeah?
that. And I knew it had a carb problem, so I'm going to redo the back, rebuild the carburetors, and then.
What kind of carburetor do you have?
I think they're Mikunis. I need to look at I have a schematic for them and how to do it, but I can't remember but I think they're Mikunis. So they're pretty
Oh,
good.
wow,
carburetors.
okay.
They just,
That's a good carb.
yeah, it's a problem with this year or this motor style for the Vulcans. I mean, intruders.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the back carburetor gets gummed up twice as fast as the other one. I don't know what it is. So.
Well, how long was it sitting before the guy had it?
So the guy that I bought it from bought it the year before, and it was a project bike for him.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there, he wanted 900 for it. And when I went there and I looked at it, and he's like, "Well, it's got a dead cylinder. It doesn't run very good. The seat trash." And I'm like, "Oh, you're doing a great sales job here.
Yeah.
I'll give you 250." And he's like, "Well, can you do 300?" And I'm like, "Yep." And because I really wasn't planning on buying the bike, but if he was going to take it 250 or 300 for it, I couldn't pass that up. So
Man, even with a
I
dead
started
cylinder.
and my dad owns an automotive machine shop, so if it really did have a dead cylinder, I could do the work myself and bore it out, hone it, and everything else. So then when I got it home, I drove it home, and I realized that it wasn't a dead cylinder. It was just because it ran really good for a minute, and then it would not run good. And then I looked it up, and that this motor style has an issue with the rear carburetor coming up. So
Oh, does it? Okay.
I'm like, you know what, a $24 carb kit, and I'm good as gold. So
Is it? I mean, like you said, are they pretty reliable? So once it's fixed, you shouldn't have any more issues as long as you keep riding it.
well, it'll get gummed up again. But it's just like a normal tune-up. It's going to be a while out.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not. And then if I keep good gas in it, keep the fuel filter changed, all that preventative maintenance stuff to keep the gas as I can through it. And
What about that seafoam? My neighbor down the street that I ride with, he put seafoam in there, and I'm not sure if that was any good or not for him, but he said it helped out.
yeah, I'll have to look into that for sure. So
I mean, it's like I guess maybe a 16-ounce can
yeah, it's like
that
an
he put. Yeah, it's an additive, and he was trying to sell his old V Star. He has a V. Well, he had a V Star 1100 and a V Star 1300.
yeah.
A V Star 1100 was been sitting, but it just started right up. But before that he put the seafoam in there because it was just kind of misfiring. He took it out around the block to
Sure.
kind of blow out whatever was in there, and he's like, "Man, this thing is just not acting right." So he put that seafoam in there and just made a world of difference.
Cleaned it
So
up.
that's when he sold it after that. So
Nice. So,
Mike, tell us about your crazy stories. We haven't talked
Man.
about you yet.
I ain't really got too many crazy stories. Let's see. Which one was I telling you the other day?
which
It was with the white Mike, I guess.
that was with the guy that came to your booth at the flea market.
Oh man, I don't know if I should talk about that one. I don't know who's
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know I don't know who's listening on let's just
On the West Coast.
okay, let's just say I have respect for any biker club. I don't care if you're the Hells Angels, the Vagos, you're a local chapter for like you ride Suzuki's or rice grinders. I got total mad respect for anybody that rides two wheels because you know why? You ain't got no metal around you to protect your ass from them idiots out there. Okay, because when I lived in California, we used to do a lot of splitting the lanes, and they made it a law that you could eventually they did make it a law that you could split the lane on the freeway if traffic was stopped or at a crawling distance because what it was is a lot of the guys that like rode hardly at the time, but then when Indian or you build a custom bike, or you had like a big dog or one of those when they came out, they're not water cooled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you sitting in traffic at 110 degrees. See what a lot of guys they would tell me like, man, I wish I could go ride. You're so lucky to ride out there. Well, let me tell you something. For any of you youngins out there that want to ride or think it's like badass and it's fun, let me tell you something. For 2 years, I didn't have a car. All I had was a motorcycle.
Mhm.
I had my 2001 Indian. I had my Scout, saddlebags, and that was it. And when I had to go to work, I took extra clothes to change when it rained.
So that was
I
your
rode
commute then, huh?
I rode in rain. I
Wow.
rode in fog. I rode when it freezes your nuts off, and I rode when your nuts float from sweating so much in the heat. And
Yeah.
I don't mean to be so graphic, but I mean when they tell you, "Man, I'd like to be out there in the summer riding and shit." Hey, you know what? When you stop and it's 110 outside, it's like 130 because the heat pounding off that
Oh yeah.
that
Absolutely.
blacktop.
I
People
was
don't
gonna say,
think about
especially if
that.
it's blacktop, it's hot as
Yeah,
heck.
people don't think about that. And but what brings it back to the story was the fact that anybody that rides,
Yeah.
I don't care. I got mad respect for you. So this story is no direct reflection or derogatory against any particular motorcycle group. It's just a story I'm sharing that happened many, 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 many years ago. And I'll leave out the reference of my friend. Okay, let's.
Your
So
friend, huh?
what happened was me and my wife she's my ex now, Mama Erin at the time. We had a booth out of a flea market in California, Roseville, called Farmers Market or Denials Farmers Market. So we had a booth out there, and I used to sell knives, high end stuff, knives, Chinese knives, for the budget buyers. And the wife sold like Swarovski crystals and gazing balls and all kinds of metaphysical or that kind of crap. I left that to her. I stuck with the knives and stuff. And I used to cut keys out there too. And yeah, because you don't have to have a locksmith license to cut keys in California. All you got to do is buy a machine and go buy the blanks, and you can set up shop and cut keys all day long. So I was cutting keys on the side and doing that. Well, anyway, this young kid comes up. I got these knives in there that got these red and green handles. And he was all decked out in his leather biker vest and his chaps, riding chaps and stuff. And he asked me about those knives, and I told him, well, those are pretty expensive. And he says, well, he looks at me and he goes, you ever heard of the Vagos? I'm like, yeah, who hasn't heard of the Vagos, man? They've been warring with the Hells Angels for a long time. I mean, who hasn't heard about them? I mean, yeah, they're the red and green. I said, yeah, I know them. He says, well, I'm what did I say? A prospect.
Prospect. Yeah, prospect.
I'm a prospect for them. And I said, I didn't know they had a chapter here in town. He says, well, the club president lives over there by, where the food for less and all that is. I says, yeah. He says, well, the club president lives right there. He says, and I'm prospecting, and I'd like to bring them a couple of knives because you have red and green on the handles, and I think that would be good for us. And I'm thinking, well, the kid just wants to get in on the, show his loyalty, and he's been looking out for the club. I thought, that's pretty cool. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, they're like $69 a piece or so. I said, I'll cut you a deal. I'll let you have them for like 40, 45 a piece. And then you can take them if your president wants more, I'll make a deal with him and I'll really hook him up, because money's money, man. I don't care where it comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
Dead president's a dead president.
That's right.
No matter whose hand it's in. Right. So he goes, well, I don't have that kind of money right now. I'm just starting out. And I'm looking at him thinking like, well, he's probably spent a lot of money on a bike, and he's trying to show his loyalty. So I give him the knives. And I said, now you come back next weekend, you bring me my money, and then tell the club president if he wants, he can come up and we can talk. If that chap, we can talk. And I'll hook him up, man, whatever he wants. So the weekend goes by. Next weekend goes by, no kid. The next weekend goes by, no kid. And I'm getting pissed off. And Aaron's like, well, he say he was prospecting for the Vagos? You don't want to be fucking with them. And I'm like, I'm not going to mess with him. I want my money.
Right.
Kid owes me money. And besides, he's a prospect. And usually, even the club mama or whatever, Scott gets more respect than a prospect.
Oh yeah,
Even the house mouse gets more respect than a prospect. I mean, think about it, So I'm like, okay, I'm in the crowd. Just bring, a 12-pack of beer and we'll talk about it. Where's my money? Where's the prospect? Well, come to find out, a buddy I used to work at this because I broke my shoulder. So after working with comp, I quit working for the dealership and I went to work for a friend of mine named White Mike, who owns a shop in Orangeville. Matter of fact, he's got a shovel head that's all white. Everything's white on it. And then all the chrome isn't chrome, it's stainless steel, and he's machined it all himself. Well, his bike, I don't know I'd have to go find the issue, but he was a pop-out centerfold. They did a job, a report on him, an article. So they had him, picture with the babe with him and the bike and the story.
Easy Rider, or?
Oh yeah, he wrote it. It was a daily rider.
No, I mean, was it Easy Rider the magazine? Or?
Easy Rider the magazine.
Yeah, okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, so I met him because I had to do some work at the time. I needed work done on my electric glide. I had an electric glide. I was rebuilding the motor. So I went to work for him along with selling on eBay and then doing this market thing. And White Mike's like, I told him about the kid, and he goes, you know what? I think I know who his mother is. And he points across in his building right there. He points right around the little wall, and there's this little leather shop. So I go over and I ask the lady, so that's my kid. Well, I tell you, kid, he owes me like 100 and something or $80 or whatever. He owes me some money. And she's like, well, what do you mean he owes you money? I said, he comes in, tells me he's prospecting for the Vagos. He wants these red and green knives to show the club president that, he's thinking of the chapter. Mm-hmm. I'm buying it. Now it's been over a month and I need some money. And she's like, well, he ain't got no money.
Oh crap!
You shouldn't have given it to him. I said, well, tell him if I ever see his ass out on the road, he's a dead man. Because I'm gonna get my money. I'm either gonna take his bike, or I'm gonna get some money. And things go by. Well, one of the guys from the club comes up to the booth, and he's a friend of White Mike's, and we're talking, and we become good friends. And just spare the guy's name, I mean, he's a good friend. And I'll just leave him out of the story. But he says, I hear you got some problems with this prospect. And I go, yeah, you tell that some bitch, if he either don't bring me $80, I'm going to find out where he lives. I'm either going to get it out of his side. I'm going to take his bike. He says, what bike? And my jaw dropped. I said, what do you mean, what bike? He was a prospect. He goes, he ain't got no fucking bike. I said, how do you prospect on 2 feet?
Maybe a BMX bike.
Yeah, he don't even have a pedal bike, man.
Damn.
He don't even have a Schwinn. A Stingray. He don't even have that. I mean, and he's like, yeah, the dude ain't got no bike, Mike. He ain't got no bike. I said, the club president knows about what's going on because the word got back to my friend who told the club president. The club president said to tell you, he's open season. You do what you want.
Wow.
So the kid finally did show up, and he did give me the money, and then he never came back.
I bet he didn't.
But I made a good friend though. The other guy, he had property. I mean, a lot of property, and he had these 4 huge sheds. The viewers won't know. Maybe Kathleen will, because she knows Lonnie. But like Lonnie has them, what are they, like 12 feet wide by 30 feet long?
Yes.
I mean, and his was just a little bit bigger. And in 2 of them, he had like nothing but parts, and they were still in the boxes, like Harley parts. Because all he worked on was the old iron. He worked on shovels, pans, old iron Sportsters, a couple of knuckleheads. I mean, this is the kind of work he did. And Mike did the same kind of work, because I don't know how it is in Texas. Really, I don't get out in Texas. I don't know how it is in Utah. I know how it is in California. Harley shop won't touch anything older than 10 years. Once it hits a 10-year mark, they're done. They won't even let you bring it.
It's the same thing here too in Texas.
I mean, you couldn't even take a shovel head in for an oil change. They won't touch it.
Huh.
So that's why I support all the local mom and pop shops.
Well, shoot, there's just one down the street right here.
All the independents. I'll always support the independent shops. So
Right.
anyway, he's taking me into the third shed, and it's like where he does body work and paint. And then we get into the fourth shed, and he's got a couple of bikes up there he's working on. And he's telling me these stories about working and riding with the Vagos. And then he goes, here, and he signs me a card, and he gives me a get out of jail card free with the Vagos. So like if you ever get, like if I got, like if I stepped on my own dick around him,
Right.
I could just flash the card one time. That's it. Then you
Wow.
leave. You leave. You don't come back. You get out of jail. And then,
Yeah.
and then he told me, he came by the booth a couple weekends later, and he says, "Man, I'm not riding with the group no more." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Doc says my heart's bad." He says, "And I'm the first." He said, "If I ever went riding with them in a group," he said, I had an attack. Like he said, I'd take them all down. He said, that's how bad my heart is. So I said, "What'd they do? Do you turn in your colors?" And he says, "They let me keep my colors, and they let me leave on a doctor's note." And I said, "Well, wow, dude, because that's unheard of. That's cool.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah, I
cool.
mean-
I mean, it's a lot of people look at these guys in these motorcycle clubs, and they think like they're just trash. They're badasses. But you know what? The thing people don't realize, and I say this about anybody that rides a motorcycle, man, whether you're a woman or a man, doesn't matter. Okay, I think women should be able to ride if they want. They don't have to pack. If they want, they can pack. If they want to ride their own bike, ride your own bike.
That's what I'm saying.
But we pay our bills.
Yeah.
We pay our taxes. We pay our mortgage, our rent. We provide food on the table for our family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get a little crazy when we go out for a ride. That's how I live. You got a little crazy, not stupid, but crazy.
I mean, exactly. Sometimes you just want to hit the gas, or sometimes you just want to do whatever. I mean, not pop wheelies. I mean, I'm not into that, but you just want to have a little fun.
So, yeah, that was the one with them. That's why I don't understand why people look at, maybe today some kid. I don't know. When we go to the when you've taken me to the doctor's appointment, I've seen some real assholes on bikes.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
they act stupid, and I can see where that. All I'm saying, anybody that might come out here later on and run into this video, man, just because you see that one dickhead out there on that bike, don't mean the rest of us are all like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you guys seen it on Facebook, but probably about 4 or 5 months ago, there was this guy that was just bashing bikers, and he was like literally saying, "If I see you on the road, I'm gonna run over you."
I saw that.
Man, it's just crazy. I mean, that person is gonna run into the wrong person, because a lot of bikers do pack, and they're gonna fire right back at that dude if you try to take him off the road.
Yeah.
And I noticed too, and my dad has brought this up, and I think you have, Mike, too, is here, at least in Texas, is that a lot of people are running red lights lately. And it's just getting crazy to where, your light's green and you see somebody just passing over running that red light. And it's like, man, you got to just pay attention everywhere you look, you have to pay attention on the road, because you have
Yeah.
nothing around you. You know what I mean?
Now, do you have a helmet law in Texas or no?
Yes.
You have a helmet law?
Well, you have to be 18. If you're over 18, then you don't.
Yeah.
But like when Lily decides she's gonna ride, then of course she has to have a helmet, and there's a strap that she has to hold on to, and
Yeah.
foot pegs. So
Yeah, that's the same as us. Up to 18, you have to have the helmet. After 18, it's up to you. But
yeah, same here.
I always ride with the helmet.
I do too.
Not because I'm worried about my riding. I'm worried about the idiots out there still, and not seeing me and doing other stuff. So I control myself on my bike, but I can't control what other people do. So
Exactly.
and
it's good to have that course.
in one piece.
Well, my dad's 70. He'll be 74 in November this year, and there for the longest time. He was not riding, and then when my daughter was born, he started wearing a helmet. So which is good.
Yeah.
But I recommend anybody that's looking to. What's that?
You let Carol in?
Oh my goodness, Carol's here.
Carol, I saw Carol.
Oh my
I saw Carol
goodness.
there. I saw Carol
Man.
there, man. Yeah.
It was a respectable show.
I know it was going great
man.
if she showed up, man.
Hey, whoa, Carol! I don't feel that way. I have a lot of respect for you. You're a classy lady, man.
Oh, we're just messing with you, Carol. We
Don't
knew
listen
you
to
for a
them
long
two.
time.
Don't listen to those
Instagram,
two
she was
dumbasses
just
there.
freaking mean, man. She was
We're just messing with you, Carol. We love you.
yeah.
Carol, I saw that picture of you with your hair straight now. You're very beautiful.
Aw.
Man, you are such a suck up.
He has to.
It's what I do,
You
man.
can't run.
Yeah, that's
What I
right.
do.
Yeah, no, we like Carol. She's good people.
She's another Mothership Products family. Well, all of us basically. We met them through Mothership Products on the auction show, famous auction show he used to have on Saturday nights. That we're trying to get him back to going again. But that's
You know
another story.
what? Why couldn't you do one for nothing but motorcycles?
That would be really cool.
Find somebody that has that kind of inventory.
We need to work on getting some inventory. Why couldn't we have a biker auction, man?
Oh man, that would be there you go, man. The first of Texas Rider Show.
Hey,
Starring
Hey,
Mothership.
pick up some inventory.
Carol wants you to say tarot cards are of the devil, James.
Tarot cards on the devil. There you go.
That made her day. She loved
As
that.
you-
I remember that.
And she just started laughing so hard when she first heard that. And
She
just fell out of her chair.
was one of the, when we did on my other channel, Rolling Picker, we did Chewing the Fat with Rolling Picker. And she was one of the originals on the panel. But then
Yep.
it was during that that auction I bought from Tanya that had the sword in it and the tarot cards and some other stuff. And you guys were opening it up live.
Yeah.
And we were in there, and then he said the tarot cards are the devil. And now it's just like anytime you can. I even got a tape recording of it. So like when I was doing a video, I could put in it behind the, in the sound, tarot cards are of the devil, because I knew it made made Carol's day, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But me, Mike, and my wife, we have a couple channels. My wife has So Get This, and we were trying to do reselling for a while, which we made quite a bit of money. That's where everybody met everybody in the channel and all that, Mothership Products, and it was fun. But I'm like, well, I'm going to get into bikes again, so that's why I want to kind of redirect everything to Texas Riders. So
Yeah.
just kind of left that channel behind, and I will do curbside pickups. I can't pass every time I'm turning around the corner, even if I'm on my bike. I'll keep looking around.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep, he does that. We came back from a doctor's appointment, all of us, right? Because they all go. We came back from doctor's appointment. I said, and we go and check mail, and then we go around the turn, and we're like, even me, whoa, stop. There was remember the old school monitors, the big Dells? There was one of those out there. There was like two desktop PCs, and there was these two really high class chairs. One was an Ethan Allen, and something else, right? And so we stopped, and he tripped over the thing, almost broke his neck tripping over the monitor, getting those two PCs. We got him in the car, and then he says, I'm coming back with the truck, and I'm grabbing them two chairs. And them two chairs, he sold them damn chairs on Facebook for local for $25 a piece.
it was $25 a piece, and it didn't cost me anything.
All they needed was reupholster, and looked like a cat got to him.
Which I didn't have to do all that. I just basically cleaned them up and shampooed it a little bit, took pictures, and probably within maybe 2 hours, everybody was just blowing up my phone. So I do catch every once in a while some curbsides, and so it's a little fun.
Jared says he said to me, he said sweet flag. So let's show it all the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that ugly thing. Whew.
That Dreamcatcher, I got that on one of your auction shows.
I know you beat me out for it.
Oh
I
yeah.
was the one you were bidding
Hey,
against.
that's because Sandy was got the white one, and it was like I knew she was going to try to buy them all up. And then when she quit bidding, you started bidding, and I was like, "Oh hell no, man! I'm getting one. I'm getting one, man."
I actually have one upstairs. It's not that one, but that's because that's the one I wanted. But no, the one upstairs was a Mama Dreamcatcher. So.
Jared, did you get to see the whole flag? Let me just do it one more time because Jared's back in there.
Oh man,
There it is, Jared. The Rockets, the Texans,
That's
the
it.
Astros.
I wouldn't say anything
Oh,
about the
wait, and-
Astros because they think we're cheaters anyway. So
Oh man, you know what? New York, and I think even
Which-
the
who
Marlins.
doesn't cheat? You know what I mean?
They
As
they
far
were
as the
all,
baseball.
yeah, they were all copying the dang. They were all doing the calls, man. They just, you know why? Because the Astros were like almost in 2 back-to-back World Series. That's why.
Yeah.
Nobody said
on.
shit when the Giants won three. The San Francisco Giants won 3 World Series in 4. What was it? 3-4 year. They won 3. They were all even years.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Yeah.
over 5 years, they win 3. Nobody says shit about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, in Utah, you guys ain't got no pro teams. Not really. You can't count
hey,
the
we got
Jazz.
the Utah Jazz.
No, the
Yeah,
Jazz.
Utah
Jazz
Jazz.
Jazz ain't shit. The Jazz guy's the one that ruined basketball for us.
Well, I know that.
Because we can't say that virus on the. We'll just call it the dumbass virus.
Well, you guys had
What did he do?
what
Going
early?
around? He was licking microphones or some shit. I don't know. What was he doing?
I don't know. I don't know how we got it.
Yeah.
Well, you had,
look, hey, Jared's right. Every freaking team cheats. He's right. They do.
Yep. It just we got caught, I guess. You know, it happens.
I'm
were
liking
you
Jared.
saying?
I'm liking Jared. He likes my flag. I'm liking Jared. Man.
Yeah, Jared has a little emblem that has Houston Astros on it. You know, on his website, on his YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
So
Another Texan. Man.
yeah, that's it, man. That's how
Hey,
we
dude.
roll.
Texas rules, man. Don't mess with Texas. And I'm actually California born.
I know.
I'm
so you're
California
double
born.
messed up.
Well, it was I did a tour. Well, let's see. When I went in the Air Force 75, I got sent after basic at Lackland in Texas. I went to Chicago for tech school, then came back, signed to San Antonio, and I was at Lackland. That's where I met my first wife, and I loved everything about Texas then. And then when I came back from England, I was overseas England. Went to Charleston, from Charleston to Hawaii, then from Hawaii to Texas. I went back to Bergstrom. So I got Austin, and I saw that Austin life, man. Come on,
You know,
Longhorn.
I've been to Texas 3 times. Once to Austin. No, only 2 times. Once to Austin and once to Houston area.
Oh, to
I
see
like-
us, right?
So
Hey, next time you come out, Dwayne, try to bring your bike, man. It would be fun.
that's a long ride, man.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
But-
I like.
Wait a minute. How many miles is it?
It's a long ride.
How many miles is that?
I don't know. It's probably
Well, you can always trailer it.
18-hour ride. Yeah, I could.
Well, or I can meet you halfway, man, and bring you
You-
to Houston. And
You bikes got shocks, man. What I tell you, Shade Tree Surgeon rode 1,000 miles on that makeshift hardtail chopper he did on that Yamaha 650. He rode that
I'm not as cool as him.
with a jockey shift.
yeah, that was crazy.
That's not happening.
I don't even think it had a front brake. I don't think
Wow.
he had a front brake on it either. I don't know. I have to go look.
Huh.
Look at who's the Matt Man TN. He must be Tennessee.
Hey, how's it going, man? Glad you're back in our chat here.
Yeah.
Got some
No,
people.
I liked Texas. All right. It was a little hot in Houston. I mean, a little humid.
Texas, you can almost ride.
used to.
Yeah, Texas, you can almost ride all year round. Well, in fact, you can. You know, our doesn't really get too cold. You know, about 30s and 40s every once in a while, but not too bad.
Yeah, I was going to tell a story similar to Mike's. I used to ride a Yamaha triple.
Oh, that's a bike.
50.
That's a bike, man.
I had the same problem. My car blew up. My son blew my car up. So I was commuting on my bike in the winter, and it was about a 20-mile commute on the freeway. And I I was working on the carburetors. That one had it had Hitachi carburetors, and I changed them over to Mikuni's, and I was having a real hard time. And it has no gas gauge, of course. So I was having a hard time. I couldn't figure out when I was going to be out of gas because it was running really rich, and then it would lean out. All kinds of problems. So I ran out of gas. It's snowing. I run out of gas on the freeway, right? So I pull over the side of the road, call my wife to bring me some gas, and then I sit on my seat, prop my feet up on the handlebars, and I'm sitting there, like this, just sitting in there in the snow, waiting for my wife to get there. And a cop pulls up about 15, 20 minutes later. A cop pulls up behind me and says, "We've had a bunch of calls about you. Are you okay?" Yeah, just waiting for gas. And they're like, they called us up and said, "There's some guy like sleeping on a motorcycle."
Oh my goodness.
So, but it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like Mike. You had to, when it rained, from on my bike, I didn't have fairings or anything. So from my knee down was just like drenched.
Soaking wet, yeah.
My pants were fine, but it took all day before it would dry.
Yeah. Well, how long you been riding?
Well, probably off and on for, I don't know. Let's see. That was probably 10, 12, probably 12, 15 years, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Off and on. I mean, most of the time, my wife doesn't like me having a bike, but what are you going to do, right?
It's like a source of freedom. You know what I mean? Like if you're having a bad day at work, or you're just stressed out over everything, you can just get on that bike and just head wherever you're going.
Yeah.
You just relieve your, almost like a stress release.
Yeah, and I might do what you did. I saw one of your videos where you had a GoPro on, and I have, here in Utah, we have some beautiful scenic rides, and I'd love to get a GoPro and just go up in the mountains, up through the canyons and stuff, because it's beautiful in a car. So I can't even imagine, on a bike, how nice it is.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be really cool. You think you're gonna set up another channel, or are you gonna use Mothership Products channel, or?
Yeah, I haven't given it that much thought yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That'd be nice. Really cool.
Yeah.
Or if we do this on a regular basis and you're on the panel, maybe you can do a screenshot of some of your videos or pictures.
Sure. Oh no, absolutely.
That'd be kind of cool.
Kathleen, I'm reading the chat. Kathleen posted, she said, "I rode on the back fender once. Laugh out loud. I got to tell you guys this story. You're going to love this. One day, I'm over at the Yamaha dealer because I wanted to check out their Royal Star. That new, or the Boulevard, or whatever they call it.
That's what the Intruder turned into, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to go see that.
Into the Boulevards.
I wanted to go see that bike, and so I ride up there. And I'm talking to one of the sales rep. He's got one out that just came in from a test ride. And we're looking at it, and he says, "You thinking of trading the Indian in?" I go, "No, if I'll do anything, I'll buy another bike. I ain't getting rid of the Indian."
Right.
And I should have never got rid of the Electroglide. I should have just kept the Electroglide, bought the Indian, and just, if I ever get my legs back and I can ride again, I'm gonna buy all the bikes that I got rid of, and I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them, man, because it's like I'm a mechanic. You don't get rid of your tools,
Yeah.
You always keep your tools, even though I'm not working.
And
so
it has a soft spot for a different reason.
Yeah, and there's a reason why I loved each bike. Well, this I'm there talking with the guy, and all of a sudden I'm hearing the sound of straight pipes, and it's like a badly tuned Harley though, and it's getting loud and it's rapping, and we're all waiting for this bike to come down the road. Well, what it is he was across the street at like this burger joint, and it was him, and he had a girl on the back. But when he took off, he took off, and he was having problems with the bike. He got in the suicide lane.
Okay.
Instead of just turning and going down the road, he got in the suicide lane. Once he got on the road, he had problems. So he got on the suicide lane. You could see she was sitting on a folded like blanket or a little folded towel on the fender.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And so she's trying to hold on. All of a sudden he reaches down like he's like, "Oh, I'm a dumb fuck. I got the choke on."
Right.
pushes it down, pulls on the wick, backfires, clears, and it takes off. And she comes flying off the fucking back end of the bike, bouncing
Oh my
her butt.
goodness.
And here she is getting up. We're all like worried about her. She gets up. She's running after him, got her finger up in the air, screaming at him, throws her purse down the road at him. She's still running in a suicide lane, man.
Oh wow.
And all you hear is this bike. You hear him shift like 3 times, but we never
Jeez.
heard him come back.
Oh, that sucks.
He probably knew he was in trouble.
And he ain't getting something, that's for sure.
Well, I had to tell you, I don't know if Angie's ever said anything about that before, but I was driving that Sportster at an 883. I was at the light, and Angie always had the nickname called me Turbo. You know what I mean? So I was at the light because I was just kind of getting used to. I had just started riding, kind of getting used to the clutch, and gas, and gave a little bit too much gas one time. She was on the back, and like literally, she almost fell off. Her butt slid from the seat to the fender, and she was just holding on to me while I was almost doing a wheelie. So it's like, what the heck? So,
That's crazy.
but I know Kathleen Brand in the chat too. Her husband used to ride. She has 2 Harleys in the garage. I'm trying to get her to, at least sell to us.
Yeah, come
But
on, Kathleen.
That'd be nice. But she used to be a hardcore biker.
Yeah.
Biker chick. So.
What do you mean used to be? They never just stopped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You never stop. If you're in the biker realm or world, you never stop being, even when you finally have to hang it up. You never give it up, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
And,
for sure.
and just for clarity, I can probably speak for James. I'm pretty sure for Dwayne. When we say biker, that encompasses everybody. We have to make sure. I don't want people coming here and going, "Oh, they're just Harley freaks," or they're this.
I don't even own a Harley.
No. Well, what did I tell you the other night? What did I tell you the other night? What HD stands for? $100. Everything's $100. $100 oil change, $100 tune-up, $100.
I wouldn't say anything on 2 wheels, but if you got a moped,
dude, now don't go there, man. Don't go there.
Scooter.
No.
Scooter's got to go, man.
When I was stationed at Hickam, I wasn't gonna waste gas driving my car from one end of the base to the other to my shop. And I bought me a Push moped for
oh my goodness! Well, they go like 30 miles an hour.
No, dude, listen. For $100, I bought it. The guy says, "Be a little careful. I can't get the carburetor dialed in, and it's having problems." And so we get it back to the house, and my buddy and I were looking at it. And I go, "That ain't the right carburetor, man. That's like a bigger carburetor."
Uh-oh.
And he says, "Well, maybe he's got don't know how to adjust it." So we're screwing with it. We get it running. And it's a 2-stroke, so it has a tank that feeds in with the gas. You don't have to mix it. It mixes it as it goes in.
Uh-huh.
And when we got that thing dialed in, that moped would do 55, 60 miles an hour.
What? Wow.
Wide open throttle, man. And I could ride 2 weeks back and forth to work on 28 cents of gas.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, back in your day, that was like what, 10 cents a gallon?
No, dude. Back in the day, was you could go to pull it. We had a Circle K right by where we lived near the high school. I used to take my '56 Chevy, $5. I'd fill up the tank with regular, get me an RC Cola and a bag of peanuts, because you always put the peanuts in the soda, and all I drank was Royal Crown Cola. I didn't drink that Pepsi and that Coca-Cola crap.
Is that even
Royal Crown Cola?
Is that around anymore? RC Cola?
I think RC Cola still is around.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
But it's still around.
If you can find it, it's the best cola around. And I could fill up that huge tank in that 56.
I know, right?
With $5 and still have change to get a soda and a bag of peanuts.
That's cool.
Wow.
All you're saying is I'm old.
Yeah, I know, right?
What do I care, man?
Yeah, no, I got you. I just like to teach you.
My first bike, if I could have got my first bike in high school, it would have been an AMF. It wouldn't have been a Harley. But nobody wanted to ride a bowling ball.
Well, Harley, it was AMF, from 82 to, like for 3 years, right? I think.
Yeah.
Then they had that logo on there, that rainbow logo.
Dude, they had it for a long time. I think it wasn't it 82? When was it that Harley got it back?
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up too.
Because I know my 85 had a, I think I had, yeah, it was an 85, had the Evo in it. That was Hall Harley. That didn't have no AMF sticker, no shit on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
That sucks.
that's the thing about this channel is that it's just we could talk about crotch rockets, anything you can think of, like you said, two wheels,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter here. So I mean, I'm not opposed to anything but Harley, So I just want to clarify that, I'm pretty sure we'll have crotch rocket guys on here and talking about whatever.
Yeah, the old Hayabusas. Those are some bad bikes. I'm telling you.
In fact, I think Shade Tree, he rides a. Would you say it was a Honda, right?
No, he rides a Triumph, doesn't he? I thought he rides a Triumph.
Triumph. Yeah, it's a Triumph, and and he has an old '80s FLX or whatever it is that he's working on right now.
But he made a good point in one that video that we watched. Well, first of all, I will be on Biker's Basement. Be looking for it, people. I'm going to be doing a reaction to an asshole that's out there.
Yes.
That just clickbaited and was trying to bash Straight Tree
Surgeon. Yeah.
But this guy's a total dick. I'm telling you, and I'm going to do a reaction on him because he needs to be exposed for the prick he is. Because Shade Tree is straight up. He's okay,
original.
He's okay, dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Original.
For sure.
There ain't no persona or no fake shit around him, But this guy, yeah, I will be doing that. It's going to be coming out.
His name is Shade Tree Mechanic.
It's Shade Tree
Surgeon.
Oh,
Surgeon. Yeah.
James, you can put the link in your channel if you want.
Yeah, good.
You can put the link to Mothership Products and.
Well, you should have a couple of moderators.
Yeah, like I would make Carol a moderator. I'm not fast enough to moderate, man. The trolls get in there. I get overwhelmed. It's like one of the Lord of the Rings scenes. I get overwhelmed and I can't survive.
Oh wow, I didn't know this. It says AMF announced that they had purchased Harley Davidson in 1969. Which I didn't know.
Well, Harley had some management problems, I think.
Yeah, in fact, they're going through. Some people say on YouTube that that he got fired, the CEO of Harley Davidson, and others are saying that he quit. But I don't know the exact truth on that.
Is there any Harley or Davidson family members left? Willie G still around?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
But that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, we used to give him shit about the AMFs, man. Everybody gave him hell. And then I remember when Harley got it back, that was a big thing on the boulevard in eBay has a motorcycle boulevard. The chat used to run real good. It was any kind of bikes, didn't matter what you rode. Now it's just gone dead and it's bullshit, but it was a good chat. And when the day Harley got it back, that forum just blew up. Oh, yeah. Everybody was so totally excited. Well, it's like when California Cycle bought Indian, the rights to do Indian, and then the Intruder had the Kawasaki is the one that had the big front fender, the skirted fenders.
Yeah, the skirted
fenders.
And so Indian sued Kawasaki, right? Kawasaki is the one. And that went to court because there was no way to alter the skirt to make it their own. It looked just like on the Chiefs. So they let them slide on that. And then what pissed me off was Indian was coming out with its own motors. So it was a big V-twin, but it had a bottle cap, rocker covers. And it was it was going to be, I think, a 93 or 96 cubic inch. Because mine came with an 88, SNS 88, single cam, and Super G carb on it. It had adjustable push rods, roller rockers, and they extruded the heads, to open them up. Mm-hmm. And that bike got really fast once I put a Da Vinci kit in that Super G. Shit, it'll throw you off. It'll throw you off. You pull on the wick at any speed, and if you weren't holding on, you were gone. Well, what pissed a lot of us off, Indian guys off, right after they came out with that new motor, they go belly up.
Yeah, because Victory
Piss,
owns it now, right?
piss poor management is what it was. Just
Yeah.
like the same
Yeah.
thing that happened to them. They couldn't compete with Harley in the 50s.
Right.
You know, and Harley had the market during World War II. So yeah, it was bad management, and then in Victory
Yeah,
had great
Victory owns it
success
now.
with that bike or Polaris, and so then they got it, and I like the way they done it now. They got their own proprietary motor. It looks just like the old early motors in the Chief.
Yeah.
The Scout, I can understand it being water cooled. I think they're doing a lot of racing, dirt track racing with that bike.
Oh wow.
And then, but the Chief, I love the Chief because you can get different options with it's 100. I think it's 107 cubic inch, or no, 101.
No, that's
Somewhere.
Harley Davidson was 10 107 has Harley
Okay,
Davidson
Indian's
Street Glide.
10. I think 101. Indian 101,
I thought
or
didn't you
something
say
like,
it was 108 or something?
or I don't know. It's some oddball.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that they have the adjustable windshield, is power windshield in the fairing. It just the whole bike's got that. It's got that slick. It's got that look, man, and it definitely, man. I get my legs back. That's one bike I am buying. I'm buying that. I think I'm gonna get me a Scout just for the fact that I had one, and then I'm gonna try to get my old one back from my brother and see if I can find my first electric glide.
Didn't you say that 88 was beating out the 96s?
Man, well,
tell me the story on that one.
When I put the Da Vinci kit in the bike in the car, we had the Da Vinci kit. What that does, you know, most of the Super Gs, when you pull on the throttle and it feeds, it just kind of like rolls into the throat. It just rolls in. But when you put this Da Vinci kit in, it changes that main jet in the center, and instead it puts the little round thing like in a carburetor, like you see in a car.
Yeah.
And so when you pull on the wick, you get the full blast, like a set of secondaries opening up on a
So it shoots out into the carburetor and opens up.
you
throttle?
open it up, and the gas is like right there. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I did that. I put a set of Metzler, changed the tires over to Metzler, and I suggest Metzler for anybody. Those are damn good tires, man. You just lean over and get them working, you know, the full width of the tire, and they'll grip at any speed. So anyway, I get it all done. Well, now I can't ride. So my brother's riding my bike. So I told him, I said, be careful, man. He said, it's just an 88 inch. You know, like that smug. I said, okay, I'm telling you, be careful. It'll get away from you. Jared says he hears an echo.
I don't hear it.
Somebody got a thing open?
I don't.
I don't hear it.
Huh.
I don't
Kathleen,
hear it
she's from Cyprus, so she's another Houston. So what happened?
I don't have a thing on.
Me neither.
I'm just checking. Making sure the mic is right. Let me mute and come back.
Check.
Is it there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's me, the echo, and I don't know why.
Do you have your browser open up in another window?
And the mic's off.
Oh, the speaker's off? Huh.
It's always you, Mike. Always.
I know. Man, killing us here. No.
Well, we've been on for, what, an hour and 15 now?
Hour and 15. That's pretty good.
That sucks, man.
That
Is
sucks.
it there now?
Yeah, it's
still
good.
there?
We can hear
Still
you.
There? No, echo. It's still there. I can't help it. We'll have to figure it out.
Okay.
Carol says it's me. Let me close this browser window then.
Yeah, just close it.
Is it still there? It's still there.
Well, hold on. Let's see if Carol says something in the chat.
It's still there.
Well, we should probably bail off here pretty soon anyway. I'm hungry.
Oh, man, you didn't eat yet?
No.
I bet you.
When I decided to come down here and check and see if you'd give me the link. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll tell that story later. We'll figure out the mic thing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you everyone for coming in and enjoying the show, and thank you, Mike and Dwayne.
Sure,
no problem.
And we'll, if you guys want to do it next week, we'll leave off or where you started. So
Yeah.
You can show all your, if you did anything during the week with this lockdown that we have. I know I'm working on the Sportster right now, but it takes time to take the camera and record it and take off the part and all that stuff. So I might have Lily or Angie, do my camera work for me and just edit it from there.
Cameraman or camera person.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a small echo. Matt says it's a small echo now.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
But thanks everyone for joining the show, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Take care.
Good night, guys.
Good night.